Humans generally have a recommended daily caloric intake roughly around 2,000 calories. Basically, if you consume at least that much energy, you'll probably be fine. But what about Terraria? How much food does a Terrarian need to live? Well, in 1.4.3, an official hunger system was added to Terraria for the first time, present on the secret seeds, the constant, and Get Fix Boy, meaning we can conclusively ascertain the absolute minimum number of calories required by this fine being. Constant hunger works like this. Any food will completely reset hunger up to the max, and while whatever food buff is active, hunger doesn't tick. As soon as your food buff expires though, you will immediately become peckish for 5 minutes, then weak for 5 minutes, then starving, which will then kill you in about 50 seconds. So our task here to find the minimum caloric intake of a Terrarian is essentially to find the longest duration food in Terraria that also has the least amount of calories in real life. Note that buffed here is irrelevant. All we care about is the duration of the buff. So, what is that food? If we give it a thought, we have a few contenders. The cooked marshmallow is just a single marshmallow, but grants well fed for 10 minutes. 2 cherries grant well fed for 5 minutes, as does a single jalapeno. A single cup of tea grants well fed for 5 minutes. A bunch of 7 grapes grants plenty satisfied for 16 minutes. And last but not least, Golden Delight grants exquisitely stuffed for 48 minutes. Now, Golden Delight is an odd one out here, since obviously it's insanely overpowered. Crafted from something as diminutive as a gold water strider, it provides literally 2 Terrarian days of a food buff alone. Unfortunately though, I am not going to count the Golden Delight in this calculation, because 1, I can't find the caloric value of a water strider very easily, and 2, obviously the major component here is gold, not the water strider, which is magical in Terraria. So I think it's more interesting and realistic to stick to regular foods in Terraria. So then, let's look at the remaining regular foods. A regular 7-gram marshmallow has around 23 calories according to the USDA, so extrapolating out 23 calories over 10 minutes of well-fed, 5 minutes of peckish, 5 minutes of hungry, and 49 seconds of starving, right before you die, that makes 1.105 calories per real-life minute. 1 Terrarian day is 24 Earth minutes, so if you eat exclusively cooked marshmallows, the Terrarian would require 26.5 calories per day to live. Now, that's a lot lower than real life, but we can do better than that. A single muscadine grape contains 3.42 calories, so a bunch of 6 contains 20.52 calories. Extrapolating that out over 16 minutes plus buffer equals 0.765 calories per real life minute, or just 18.4 calories per real life day. However, we can still do better than that. Due to all this buffer time back here caused by peckish and hungry, a food's calorie content is much more important than duration, since it's most efficient to use an extremely low calorie food to simply reset peckish and hungry instead of using a higher calorie food to get a long duration of well fed. Case in point, a single cherry has just 5.17 calories, and so 2 cherries has like 10.34 calories. Extrapolating 10.34 calories over 5 minutes of well-fed and every following item gives us 0.654 calories per real-life minute, or 15.69, nice, calories per Terraria day. Now, that's pretty good. Just 0.8% of the recommended daily allowance in real life. But it is nothing close to the absolute winner. Say hello to the teacup. Tea is literally just fancy flavored water. In fact, it's how you make it in game, so its caloric content is minimal. 1 cup of tea, or 245 grams, contains just 2.45 calories. In fact, that's so little calories that the FDA will legally let you label it as 0 calorie. Even a 0 calorie packet of Splenda has more calories than this. But we're not done yet. I mentioned the duration of peckish and hungry to be 5 minutes, but on Get Fix Boy, these are actually extended to 8 minutes. So if you stretch out tea as long as possible and Get Fix Boy, your total daily caloric intake is just 0.112 calories per minute, or 2.7 calories per Terrarian day. That is just 0.135% of the daily recommended allowance, and apparently, the Terrarian can eat just that and still carry a billion pounds and turn gods into mashed potatoes.